trying to hurt someone.
Okay, so if a black person is using the N-word within the context of a movie, is it a slur?
Yes.
So you think that them depicting, right, the usage of this term in like history, right, within the context of movies is wrong.
Yes, because if they understand the history of where the word came from, they would probably choose
That's
not
what
to
they're
use
trying
it.
to depict to people.
Say that again.
That's what they're trying to depict to people.
They're trying to depict that it's a derogatory term,
Yeah, they're trying to show people that it's a derogatory term, right, used against people who are black.
right?
So black people can say the word so that you can show that.
I think that I don't agree with that. No, I think that there's a lot of comedies and stuff where they do use it, and I just think that if they really were conscientious enough to think about other people and how that might affect other people, even in their own community, a lot of black people do not approve of people using the N word, even in joking situations or social situations as a greeting or otherwise.
Most black people do though, right? I wouldn't say
No, I
that
wouldn't
like.
say most. I wouldn't say most. I mean, I know a lot of younger and older people that
Would
feel
you
the
would you
same way
like me
that
to
I do.
bring up someone who's black to refer to this to you?
Well, every person has their own opinion. What I'm trying to say is I know there's a lot of black people in their own community that disagree with it, young and old, and choose not to use it as a
Here, Lux will just refer to it within the context that, like, again, right, like most people, right, who are black would say that it's okay in the context of someone who's black.
and I'm saying that not most people. Some people might, but there's a lot of black people in their own community that disagree with it.
Well, black people are not a monolith, so you can't just say, "Oh, just because some black people say that justifies or says that all black people shouldn't use that word." Some
I
black people do
agree.
disagree, and they choose not to use that for themselves, but they don't tell other black people to not use the N word.
Oh,
They
and I
say,
agree
"Hey,
with
for
that.
myself, I'm not going to use the N word, but you two each your own." That's usually
Right.
what the common conversation for black people is when it comes to the N word, Libby.
Right.
So,
I understand. Yeah, no, that's basically you said it much better than I did. I was just saying he was saying most black people use that word, and I'm saying no, not most. There's a large community of black people that choose not to
I mean,
because of the negative connotation
By the way,
and the
we didn't say
history.
that there isn't like a large amount of people. We just said that it wouldn't be considered most.
I'm sorry,
Lux, you can say what
Parker.
you're saying, by the way.
like definitely there are some black people that choose not to use the N word. And to the people in the comments that said I'm rude, I'm not rude. I'm just being very honest and direct. So yeah, like when it comes down to it, there are some black people that use the N word, and there are black people that don't use the N word. It's all a choice or a decision that we make to use that word. But when it comes down to it, it's like taking back power from the word that was used to discriminate against and put us down as people. So that's why we choose to use the N word. We took him back the power, and we use it amongst ourselves. That does
Right.
not mean that it's not some black people that choose not to use it, and yeah, and that's to each their own. But I mean, that's what we do. We're not all the same, so we can't generalize.
Right. No, and I'm not generalizing. Parker was the one that was saying that most black people choose to use it within their own community, and I was disagreeing with him,
Wait, I
saying
didn't
that
say I didn't say choose to use it. I said say consider it okay for black people to use it. And is that not descriptively true?
okay, okay, no, I'm sorry then.
I agree.
Well,
I agree with that. I mean,
right,
they usually say that it's okay, it's fine, but there are some black people in the older generation, some of them that say, hey, like, because I've had some elders say this, like, hey, I won't use that word because I feel like we should just say my brother, but that's
right,
just them. But that does not mean that they're not okay with others using it. They don't say, hey, you can't
right.
do
I
that
understand
to
that.
other black people.
Right, I understand that. Yeah, I was just his the post up there why do you think it is okay to use slurs? It's not okay because slur is in and of itself a derogatory comment as a slur. If you're using, like in the black community, again, like I said, it depends on you. If you choose to use it, that's you. I would never use it to try to be part of your community because I'm not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Wait, but you're also
Yeah, and
telling
there's a
people
lot
who
of
are a part
people
of the
that
community
would.
that they shouldn't say it. So you're telling
No, I
Lux
never
that
said
she
that.
shouldn't.
I never said that. No, I
That's
never said
actually
that at
exactly
all.
what you were
No.
saying.
No, it's not exactly what I was saying. Exactly what I was saying is that most people, or you were saying that most black people think that it's okay, and I'm saying, no, I wouldn't say most black people think that it's okay. Um, and she just reiterated that, saying that there are some elders that might say, hey, I'm not okay with that. I choose not to use it, and might even say, please don't use it around me.
Well, I didn't say that. I just said that some elders say, "Hey, like, don't just like I wouldn't choose to use that." But also, I do believe like I did hear you earlier say something along the lines of like people like in our own community shouldn't use that word at all. I mean, there's a difference, a distinct difference of me calling my homie or somebody the N word that's black, and our conversation back and forth about it in comparison to us using slurs against people that are non-black. So we have to understand that when slurs are used within our own communities to each other, it's not considered a slur because we have a whole different way of understanding and way that we use that. We have our own definition for it in the black community
Right.
in comparison to the
And I
original
understand that.
term of that. So it's all about context and who uses it and how it's used. And like I said, when it comes to
Absolutely. I
like
absolutely
reclaiming
agree.
it, yeah, when it comes to reclaiming it, we reclaim the word and use it in a whole different way. We aren't calling each other the N word to say, "Oh, you're lesser than a human," or "You're lesser than as an
Right.
individual," or you don't deserve to be in the same space as me. We use the N word back and forth as people just to say, "Hey, you my brother, you my bro." It's just slang. It's like AAVE.
Right.
So
No, I understand that. I totally get that. I'm just, that's why I was saying, like, I'm not going to say, this is my son, he is gay, and this is my other son, he is an N word. I'm not going to use it as that kind of, but, within your own community, if you're using it as a term of endearment, then that's up to you.
yeah, and that's
I
how we
was
do it.
just,
That is so
yeah,
different
and
than
I
what you were
do
saying
think that I
earlier.
do
I'm
think
sorry.
that
I'm
is
sorry,
okay.
Miss Libby.
I
Miss
never said
Libby,
at all. Yes, sir.
come on. You definitely were making claims that it's wrong for people who are black to use the term. It's absolutely
No,
backpedaling.
I
You
was
literally
not.
were. I have this on recording, ma'am.
No, I was
Like,
not.
don't gaslight me. I literally we just went over this. That's the only reason you're on my live right now. If you told me it was okay for people to reclaim, and you just said it's wrong for white people to say the word, that's literally what I've been saying this entire time on the live. I would have been like,
Well, I never
agreed. I'm
said
gonna go on to the next
it's
person.
not
The only
okay at
reason you're still
all. I
up
never
here.
said that. I would never say anything so definite like that. Like, it's not okay at all for the black community to reclaim and use it as a term of endearment. I never said that. I never said that
You
it's
said
not
any
okay at
usage of
all.
the slur is derogatory. That's what you said.
I was saying that the term slur is derogatory. So if you're using a slur in the context as a slur, then it is derogatory. If you're using a word in the context that is not a slur, then it's not a derogatory thing. That's where you're. This is a debate, correct? So interpretation of your question up there, why do
Can
you think
I?
it is okay to use slurs? It's not okay to use slurs. It's okay to use terms of endearment if they're accepted by your peers.
So let me
That
ask you a
is true.
question. So what if I get into it with a girl and me and her have an argument and she's another black girl and I say N word, you got me messed up, and we're arguing back and forth? Is that
Well, that might
not
piss her
just
off. It depends. I'm not her.
am am I like when it comes to like the black community and we have a disagreement and we call each other the N word, would you say that that's not okay?
That's not for me to call. I just
Okay,
know
well
that
but
I
you
know if you and I were fighting, I would not say that to you. Does that make sense? I would
well
not.
obviously. Well,
I
obviously
might
wouldn't do
say
that,
bitch
but
or something. I might say the B word, but I would not use something. I wouldn't, if you're gay or straight or tall or short or fat or skinny, I would not use any of those derogatories. I would say, you're making me mad and you're acting like a bee and we're going to throw. That's what I would say. I would not use anything that would be considered a slur to
so
instigate.
do you think that the B word can be taken as derogatory and be on the realm of a slur?
Yes, it absolutely can.
Interesting. So you're
But
kind
at
of
the
just
same
like,
time, but so the word "be" is not. It has nothing to do with race, sex, religion, or any of those things. So it's not about the word "be." Obviously, you're not a female dog when I'm looking at you. So I'm not. That is not the same in the same context. That's not the same as what we're saying here. So if I'm, if I'm gay and I'm in a group of gay people and I call somebody the F word, that's still a slur, but it might be a term of endearment, just like you're saying with the N word and you and your girlfriends. It's okay. So I get that. I totally get
mm,
that. That's a term of endearment at times, but, and if if you choose to use that word in fighting terms, it's still derogatory.
okay,
Whereas
so
me using the B word is not, clearly you're not a female dog.
okay, so
So
can
it's
you give
not
me
hitting you there.
your definition of slur so we can have a better understanding on where your mindset is with that?
Well, I think of a slur is, when you use a slur, it's inherently derogatory. So you're trying to put down somebody by using a slur. When you're slurring it, you're slurring somebody. You're slurring what they are, who they are, or what they do.
Okay,
So,
so like
if I have a
my
limp and you call me gimpy, that's a slur,
okay. Well, my
even if I'm
understanding
okay
of
with it.
Okay. Well, my understanding of a slur has more historical context to it to me. I think that slurs have a historical context to either dehumanize or it's been a word that's used to marginalize a community. When a community is marginalized or, ostracized, I feel like slurs are connected to that. So when it comes to
Yes,
like
ma'am.
anti-Semitism or racism or anything around that
Absolutely.
realm, that's what I feel like is more a slur than in comparison to someone calling me a bitch. So like I
I
think
agree.
like a bitch can be considered disrespectful, but I think a slur has more connection to a community that has been, disrespected or put down with those
I
words connected
agree.
to it. So
Yes, I
even
totally agree
even on
with
the
you on
film
that.
of like ableism, things like that.
I totally agree with you. And that's why I don't think that it's okay if you're using it to slur somebody. People should not be using the R word for somebody who's, physically or mentally disabled. Um, I totally agree. I mean, I absolutely agree with you on that. I was just trying to pull out, there's, trying to compare the B word. You can't really compare the B word with the N word because it doesn't have that negative connotation that goes back in history as demarginalizing a total group of people. So that's why I'm saying no. I don't think it's okay to use slurs in general. Granted, in your group, if you're making fun of each other and you're okay and it's your friends, but once somebody says, hey, I don't appreciate you putting that negative on who I am, then you should stop. But that is totally independent in different communities.
So
I didn't
you
say that well.
basically you agree with the topic.
I do. I agree with. I agree that if you choose to use it, as a term of endearment, that's fine. And I'm not going to step in if I do see you and another girl fighting or something. I'm not going to step in and say, "Hey, don't use that word." I mean, that's not my place at all. But I don't think that it's okay just because you're part of a community that you can use negative words to pick on people. So as long as you're not picking on people, that's pretty
Okay.
much what I've been saying the whole time.
Well, Libby, I think Parker's specifically looking for oppositions, and I think that we've come to the understanding that you don't agree with slurs being used against people. So, yeah, I
Yeah, I mean, I don't, because slur is inherently a negative thing.
All right,
So,
well, Miss Libby, I am just looking for some debates. I appreciate you coming up. Thank you
all
so
right. Well,
much.
I think you're great, Parker.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Have a
Have
good
a good
night.
day. All right. All right. Oh wait, I kicked out the wrong
Oh,
person.
you
Oh
kick
my
out the.
god. Oh my god, Lux. I did not mean to do that. I literally tried to kick out Miss Libby, not Lux, because I was gonna talk to Lux real quick, and I accidentally dropped Lux. Lux, do you want to send a request back? I accidentally dropped you. It's okay, Parker. I'm chilling. Okay, okay. All right, okay, yeah. If you want to come up at all, Lux, just let me know. Let me know. We're gonna go on to the next person. Or actually, I'll just add up Lux just to say bye real quick.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, I
that was
literally accidentally X'd you, not the other person. I apologize. I
no, it's
apologize.
okay.
No, you're good. I appreciate that. I appreciate it as always. You can always just let me know if you want to come up.
Okay, thank
Appreciate
you
it
so
though.
much for adding me.
Of course, of course.
All right.
W Lux in the chat, everyone. W Lux. We're gonna go on to the next person. By the way, everyone, here in like the next 45 minutes to an hour or so, we're gonna be you know, what's it called? Doing a co-host with Dean, later. So make sure to look out for that. We're gonna do a third topic for the day, everyone, which is really weird. I never do that, like three different topics on one live, but we are gonna be doing that today. Again, if you like the content, follow me if you're ready. Let's go on to the next person, though, everyone. Let's go on to the next person. All right. For some reason, it's not accepting this person. I'm going to go into the next. Again, only send a guest request if you disagree. All right. Let me go into the next person real quick. You want to see a Parker versus Dean debate? Maybe we'll do that here pretty soon. Okay. For some reason, it's not accepting this person. We're just going to try the next, everyone. Again, only send a guest request if you do disagree, everyone. We are just looking for some debates, y'all. Again, if you like my content, follow me if you haven't already, everyone. I go on live literally every single day, y'all. So again, if you like my content, follow me if you have not already, everyone. Okay, for some reason it's not accepting this person. By the way, AJ's at like 600 viewers right now. WAJ there. WAJ. Let's go on to the next person again. Only send a guest request if you do disagree, everyone. I don't know why it's not accepting people. I'm trying really hard to get people up here. Give it a second in the meantime, everyone. We should have, let me see what Dean said. Dean, it was like 6:06. So we got like another like 40 minutes left, everyone. All right, for some reason it's not accepting this person. We're going to try the next, everyone. We're going to try the next person. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, I'm 28.
For sure. Do you think it's okay to use slurs if you're not a part of the community?
No, but I do have a quick question for you, real quick, Parker.
What's up?
So I was just wondering, so um, in terms of a slur, what do you consider a slur all encompassing? Is it race, country, sex, is religion also considered a slur in your opinion, or is it just racial and sex or sexual orientation?
Yeah, it's gonna be like a derogatory term with like a historical context of like oppression, like an abuse targeted towards a particular community in terms of the usage of the word.
Okay, so I'm originally from like Northeast Philly. My brother's half Italian and I'm Irish, right? So I've heard Mick, Spud. My brother's heard a lot of stuff. Greaser, greaseball, guap, guinea, stuff like that. Would you consider those slurs as well?
Do they have a historical connotation like oppressing people
Yeah.
on the basis of a particular characteristic?
Yeah, so people who were Irish, they came over, and Italian too. They came over from imported or immigrated from Ellis Island, and they were low class, low paid workers who were in essentially ghettos as well, and their low labor costs. They were basically what immigrants are in the South today. You know what I mean? They were ostracized. They were also used for cheap labor, and that's kind of how New York City was built, and that's how a lot of skyscrapers were built. They were also ostracized and called names and stuff like that. So, and it just got me thinking because there was a mixed girl in here earlier. By the way, love your streams, love listening to you. There's a mixed girl in here earlier that was talking about how there are slurs for white people, and I was just wanting to build upon that and just I don't know, drop some knowledge if you guys wanted it or
So
not.
was it on the basis of them being white?
Uh, it's I guess not, but
So
a
it
lot of
wouldn't be a
people.
racial slur, but if you can show that there's like unjust treatment in terms of using this particular word, right, and
Mhm,
oppression based upon this, which I don't know if that's quite established,
mhm.
right? Then we wouldn't be able to consider it a slur if it doesn't meet those conditions, right? It
Okay.
could be considered a slur, but it wouldn't be like a racial slur.
I do know that a lot
It'd
of
be like a
Italian
classist
people
slur, if anything.
a classist slur. Okay.
Yeah, because it
All
sounded
right.
like you related to it being classing, like a
All right.
class.
I appreciate the information. If I can find something, I'll send something to you. If
For
that's
sure, yeah,
something.
my DMs are open if you'd like to send that to me.
All right. Thanks, Parker.
Appreciate you coming on. All right, let's go on to the next person again. Only send a guest request if you disagree, everyone. We're gonna get to the next debates, everyone. Keep tapping that screen in the meantime, everyone.
Yo, Darker.
Thank you for the superpower. I appreciate it. What's up? How old are you?
I'm 19, bro. I
What's your
just came
birth
up
year?
to 2004.
For sure. So, do you think it's okay to use slurs if you're not a part of the community?
No, I just came up to say I love your lives and you're amazing.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to the next person again. Only send a guest request if you disagree. W for them in the chat, by the way. Let's go to the next person again. Only send a guest request if you disagree, y'all. All right, everyone. He said darker because he's talking about Dean and Parker. That's what we call ourselves, Peen instead. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
40.
For sure. Do you think it's okay to use slurs if you're not a part of the community?
Um, well, it's all about the content of the word. That's what everybody's talking about, it seems like.
Say that again. Sorry.
It's all about the content of the word. You know, the N word like everybody's using here. Um, Really, it started as just a color, like a Hispanic person. You ask them what if there is a broom that is black, they're gonna say the N word, that it is NEGRO. So then you've
So,
got so
so do
and
you think it's okay for a white person to say the N word?
well, in the right content, it can be because it has went from the color black, then it has went to the hard R
Oh,
on the end, which is what you're talking about, the N word. Then now it has evolved from the color black to
oh, do you mean
dehumanizing black people. Now it
context?
has now it has evolved to a friend, a black friend. I mean, if I've got black friends, I have said the N word. They're okay with it. If we can all as a whole
Yeah, so
evolve.
so let's address this. So like when it relates to this particular circumstance, um, just because there's an individual black person that says it's okay for you to use it doesn't mean it's okay for you to use it in context in general, right? It still is a slur. There still is past historical aspects of racism that is meant to negatively impact people on the basis of a particular characteristic that still exists when relating to this particular word, right? So I don't think that this would be a good reason, especially because it seems like we're just like tokenizing them to then say that like we can then use this terminology, right? So that seems to be pretty off to me.
So is just calling someone black a slur?
No, it's the N word is a slur.
Okay, but in a Hispanic person's language, it's the N word. The word black is
Yeah.
NEGRO,
So
and so now it's evolved to with an A on the end as being a friend, not as somebody that's suppressed, not a slave. It's now evolved. So if
yeah. So by the way, first of all, that's not the N word, right? Two, right? When it relates to this, clearly, oh, is Dean already coming in, chat? We might have to move over to the other topic, everyone. So that's not the N word, clearly. That's like a different word, right? So like I think that you're just not taking that into account, right?
Okay. I I guess.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add or talk about before I move on to the next topic real quick?
No, no, y'all got it figured out, I guess.